Hi, this is Raleigh Townsend. This is being recorded on a Chromebook. I have a swollen jaw and the garage is messy. My apologies. So, if you find yourself in the very niche situation that you had to maybe change your unicycle tire or your tire tube, you have it taken apart, you successfully changed your tire tube, right? That's all together. But now you're worried about your frame not connecting properly back to your tire assembly and your hub. Because if it's not connected correctly, you can have some issues with your bearings. So when you have your unicycle inverted, the frame inverted, you're going to make sure that your wheel assembly is facing the correct direction. You might want to mark it before taking the unicycle apart. That'd be a good idea, whether that's with a impermanent marker or some form of permanent marker. That's your choice. For me, I can tell by my pedals on this specific unicycle. So I know that Odyssey faces this way. So I'm going to put my unicycle back together, pretty much, right? These stay on for me, but you might have to put your clamps back on yourself. Obviously, all four bolts go back where you found them, each in their own specific slot. That figure out just as you took it apart, you're putting it back together, or maybe you're putting it together for the first time. Um, let's just screw those on. Finger tight. That's not enough. As you can see here, I have tons up here. That needs to go into the unicycle. So I have my Allen key. This is a, I don't know how many millimeters this one is specifically. It depends on your unicycle. Typically, it's going to be either an Allen key or some other niche type of wrench, but typically an Allen key if it's a good unicycle. So first you want to just sink your bolts in without having them be tight. Just sink them into the unicycle so you feel a little bit of resistance. So you want to feel resistance slightly on all four before you start the actual tightening process. So it went from all four bolts being raised, and now they are starting to get tight. You want to keep some form of evenness. Remember when you learned how to maybe change a tire on a car? How you do in the star pattern. It's not quite the same, but you want to keep some form of evenness here on the unicycle as well. So as you can see, the bolts are no longer raised. They're sunk into the unicycle, back into the frame. So from here is the not really that tricky part, but I guess tricky part. Try a little bit of tightness and a little bit more tightness here. Okay, this one's a little less tight anyway, so I need to tighten it slightly more. This unicycle is a little old and rusty, so it's not going to be as smooth as maybe on a newer, nicer unicycle. Okay, this side's giving me a little bit of trouble, but not much. That means I need to loosen here ever so slightly, loosen on this side so that I can tighten properly. The key here is to be even. It's not rocket science, but basically once the bolts are tight into the unicycle and they're not like moving easily with your Allen wrench, that is tight enough. If you go too tight, your unicycle will seize up. So I put it on personally slightly too tight, my own liking. Your big test here is you're going to take the top of the wheel and the frame. You're going to try to pull. And if you see a noticeable shift, it's not tight enough. But right here, see how there's no pull? That means I did enough. So bounce it out. If it sounds weird, you'll be able to tell. It'll sound like a thunk. So right now, my unicycle needs just the slightest bit more tight. If I heard the slightest thunk, it'll sound like a little metally click. About a quarter turn each is all I needed. One more test run. And that's good enough for me. Now the unicycle is working again, and you can ride all day long.
Thank you very much and have a blessed day.